We're here for the second race of the season at Las Vegas for the first intermediate of the season. After an insanely wild Daytona 500, we are ready to maybe calm things down or maybe ramp things up. Who knows? With the second race of the season at Las Vegas. As on the front row, we do have Butler and Kenyon. Kenyon finished second at Daytona, now starting second at Vegas. Kenyon got things going for him. Then if we go to 8th place, our winner at Daytona, Bobby C3, avoided all the chaos. Let's see if he can avoid all the chaos that could be happening in today's race at Las Vegas. As we kind of look through the field here, 34 drivers are ready to take on 41 laps. It is going to be a good one today. Then if we go right here to the 0-1 of Kimmeline 11, our newest driver in the series, makes it an even 34 drivers. As we look at the entire grid, Butler and Kenyon, 32 other drivers behind Butler and Kenyon, are eager to get this race underway. Let's go over the starting grid for today's race. And back in row 1, of course, we have Butler and Kenyon. And in row 2, Burn It Down 49, who continues to keep up his great qualifying efforts. He's next to Raven. In row 3, Ferret and Montana. In row 4, Chasey Man and Bobby. And in row 5, Mac and Dallas, the Irishman. You can figure out where you are qualifying for today's race, as we now have 34 drivers, one extra driver. I am starting 22nd again. I qualified 22nd at Daytona. And I'm qualifying 22nd again. I am the definition of mid, but you guys already all know that. 34 drivers are ready to take on 41 laps. This is going to be an exciting race. Let's get into it.
Drivers, start your engines!
Think we were about ready to get this race underway. Butler and Kenyon are going to lead him to the green flag. Let's hope for a great race today. Green flag is in the air. We're racing at Vegas. Already a car jumping out of line. Already an very intense first lap. I already saw a lot of 3 wide. This track can produce that. This is the original Las Vegas track in the NR2003 game. So I am not surprised that we are racing more action than expected. But again, anything can happen at these intermediate tracks. It may calm down or it may get even more exciting. Montana, Dallas, the Irishman, a few guys that started in the top 10 kind of stuck up top, not really going anywhere. And if we go right here to Dakota in the 6th, scheme may kind of stand out a little bit more because this is a custom scheme that he made, debuting it today at Vegas. Looks pretty nice. Let's see how he does today in that 6 car. And looking back through the field here, a lot of battles already on the racetrack. And after an intense first race of the season at Daytona, we had a lot of big wrecks and a flip in this race. Not sure if this is going to calm things down or maybe even ramp it up. Butler was able to lead the first 3 laps of the race. Here comes Burn It Down 49 down to the inside to take that top spot away. And following him, Ferret and Melly's already up in the 4th. Again, another pretty inside dominant racetrack. You can hold the outside a little bit more. You won't fall back completely, but you still have to make sure that you can hold that bottom. Raven with a massive overcorrection after nearly getting into, I believe it was the 41 of Joey MJ1. Oh, there's a crash in the back. myself in the one car. Dylan does stuff through the grass, and I saw Colin Cropley and Vec. On lap 4, now on lap 5, we have an accident. Is there any race back to the line? It does not look like it. Not sure what happened here. Colin Cropley, he is pretty much the definition of bad luck. He was the guy that flipped over at Daytona and getting involved in an early accident here at Vegas. 2 early accidents to start off the season. We had a wreck on lap 6 at Daytona, and here we are today on lap 5 at Vegas. Vec looks like he's going to go down pit road and maybe get some repairs. Let's see what happens. Here we go here. Vec is going to get way up the track as Christoph sends it in. Christoph caused the wreck last race. Vec goes way up the track. Christoph kind of sends it in, and just 4 wide was not going to work. There is Kimmeline 11, our newest driver, barely getting contact and mostly escaping. And Vec obviously gets the worst of it, and Colin Cropley spun. Don't think he got much damage. Here was the camera I was looking at with my free cam, and I caught the very end of this wreck. There I go spinning through the grass, and there's Colin Cropley. Just kind of unlucky again. The damage, not much at all, but still, just don't want to be involved in these wrecks so early in the race, and he has to get it together. Hello! Went straight by that accident. Good avoidance by Misty, who was running in the back, and there's me merging back onto the racetrack. We're ready for the restart after an early accident. Here we go, ready to get this race back underway. Burn It Down 49 leads Butler, Threat, Melly, and Joey, the top 5. Back to the green flag, and a lot of jockeying already. Butler blocks Threat. Butler back to the bottom, looking for the lead again. Butler does not want to give this up. He wants to lead while it matters. Lost the lead early. He grabs it right back. And Burn It Down trying to command the outside, trying to hold that second spot, but Ferret's gonna nose his way down to the bottom, looking for the pass, and they're 3 wide behind him. Joey and Melly, who restarted in the top 5, kind of getting the bad end of the stick, and then also Kenyon stuck up top, trying to force his way maybe into a better spot. And now Timmy working the bottom, Lone as well, and Raven's been up here since the beginning. He's still making moves though. And Burn It Down 49 was actually able to get back into the second spot, and wow, he is hard charging on Butler. Look at the run he got from the middle lane, straight into turn 1 and 2, and trying to command right back on Butler. Just right there, these 3, just right next to each other. And then we could go back to 4th where we see Timmy, Lone making his way up the field as well. And some guys already falling back. Dallas the Irishman has kind of lost some ground after a top 10 starting spot. He is back to 22nd. And all these guys back here are still hanging on even after the crash. 3 wide here on lap 12. This race is going to go by. This race is going to go by here. 41 laps is not a massive amount. You can do fastest laps. Yeah, you can pretty much almost do 2 laps a minute. This race will go by. Oh, look at Chasey, man, way up the track. Seems like he's just fighting a hard-handling race car into the wall a little. And you do not want to be stuck in this situation, because then where do you really even go? We are 3 wide. Is this for the lead? It is for the lead. Burn It Down 49, right back to the point. Now Butler, this is probably the worst situation he can be in. Leading most of the laps to start off this race. Now being stuck in 3 wide. Oh no, he's gonna go way up the track. He tried to hold his own. kind of held the throttle a little bit longer than the two on his inside. That is not going to work. He's going to go back to like 8th or 9th here. Still on the top side. Montana's now going to go down on the bottom. And Mac is just going to force himself into the middle lane with Javier also there. I didn't mention him a single time in Daytona. Javier up into the top 10. Lone is now putting himself into the picture, looking for second, and Burn It Down 49, holding the lead, and doesn't look like he's going to let it go away from him. He wants to hold it. Raven slipping in the third, now looking to go for second down to the bottom, just commanding himself down there. He's going to get there, looks like. Fred with a little bit of trouble on that top side, and look at Butler, found himself in the middle. But still, where do you go? And when you were 3 wide like this, almost 4 wide, you know who this is going to benefit? Our leader, Burn It Down 49. That is who this is going to benefit right here. And it may even benefit the 2nd and 3rd place guys if they can get in line single file. It's like we're pack racing from that shot there. Our fastest lap is Colin Cropley, who wrecked. So proves that anyone can be competitive at this racetrack. With everyone having equal ratings, it's just you got to put yourself in a good spot. Butler found his way back down to the bottom. You know who didn't? Ferret in the 29. He is in trouble. He's really in trouble. Oh yeah, he is really in trouble. Look at what is going on. Everyone just kind of trying to send it in there. Being stuck up top is not as bad at this racetrack as it is at Daytona, because you can kind of hold your own and you can also find ways to get back in line. But when you are drifting up the track like this, creating a 4 wide situation, happened once already. What happened the first time? A wreck. Happens a second time. Got a little bit more lucky. You can see guys that started a little bit more near the back, Christoph and Misty, who are right in the middle of that pileup. Kenyon has an issue! And that stacks up everybody. Oh, that is so awful for Kenyon. Was top 10 and got second at Daytona. It may be an early ending to his day. Definitely has an issue. And you know what that also did? Slowed up these guys. Now they're 3 wide trying to regroup. And that slowed up Ferret, Dakota, and all these guys back here. Because everyone had to check up to avoid the slow Kenyon. And they all did a good job. There's Kenyon working his way down pit road. And look who's back out front. Butler and Burn It Down 49 just got absolutely smothered. Look at the sends on the bottom lane. Everyone's just sending it in there, wanting every single spot there is. Forklift operator into the 2nd spot. He DNF'd at Daytona, looking to grab the lead here for the first time today. Butler is going to hold it up top for now. No, he's going to lose it, I think. No, he holds his own up top. Still side by side. Let's see what Butler does into this corner. He's going to arc it and send it a little bit more. Oh, the 07 NASCAR fan 3 way up the track into the 24 of Mac. They're into the wall. Mac is going to go round in front of the pack. Christoph gets pile drived. Everyone scrambles to avoid, and the caution is back out. And that could have been so much worse for a lot of drivers, including NASCAR fan 3. Caution is back out. And yep, Kenyon is not anywhere in this. Kenyon DNS with the camshaft. Another very small accident, and Christoph again right in the middle of it. And this will re-rack everybody once again. This race is blowing by. We're already halfway through, and another caution is just going to make it go by even quicker. Let's see what happened. Kind of the same situation as the first accident. What happened here? Oh my goodness, NASCAR fan 3 he sends it into the corner. And then when you're 4 wide, what are you gonna do? Max spins. Look at Javier go by. Oh my goodness, the 25. Tallis, the Irishman, just was not ready, I think. Javier with a great job avoiding the accidents. As he goes by the guys that he lost spots to as that caution came out. But Dallas, the Irishman, just wasn't really on par with everyone else hitting the brakes. He slams into the 7 of Kristoff. Just an unlucky situation. We'll take a look at another replay, though, see if we can figure out kind of what happened there. Dallas, the Irishman, is way back there. And, oh my goodness, he just... Oh, Joey MJ1, I think, also got some damage in the 41 car. 25 was just not ready to hit the brakes. And on stack-ups like those, you have to be ready to hit the brakes. Just very unlucky for the 7. Got more damage than he needed to, and he wasn't even going to be involved if it wasn't for that situation there. Yep. Just kind of unlucky there. Wasn't really his fault. Feel like that could have been a 1-car spin if the 25 of Dallas the Irishman was ready to hit the brakes. Just a situation that could have been avoided. We'll be back for the restart in a moment. If you're these guys here, it's obviously noted that 4 wide is not good. You want to avoid that, but these guys just send it into the corner. And a lot of just iffy situations. Still, mostly everyone in the race, the only DNF being Kristoff, who had a mechanical issue. Forklift operator in the lead, and Montana's put himself in second for this restart. Green flag is back in the air. Bad start by the 21. Forklift operator can control this lead. At least off into turn 1 and 2. Butler, you can see down to the bottom, wasting no time. We're able to maintain a pretty solid single file 2x2 pace here. That's something that we need. You do not want to be going 3 and 4 wide after 2 accidents caused by that in the same spot. You can see though, Colin Cropley, guys that were involved in the wreck, myself, Kimmeline 11, were able to make progress, make their way up through the field. And the 07 of NASCAR Fan 3 kind of dodged the bullet there. Instead of having a damaged race car, he's still in the top 20, and he can definitely still pull off the victory. I saw the 25 into the wall in the back, or almost into the wall. You can see 3 wide here. Dakota, Chingon, Grayson up the bottom, and there's Vec. And Kristoff making a pass on the 12 of Matt, who has just been way, just not on speed, it looks like. A lot of these guys that have been back here, Grayson, Dakota, not really appeared all race, just a little bit slower. And look who has maintained the lead for most of this race and now has gotten it back. It is Butler in the 4 car. He has a fast car. The pole sitter. What happened to the guy to his outside? Had a mechanical failure. But our pole sitter, Butler, he is in control of a lot of this race. Burn It Down 49 has led some laps. But you can see that M&M's car in the middle of the pack. Forklift operator is stuck up top. Timmy's entering the battle, and Camry Bunny is here as well, or Doug. A lot of new faces are up here. Leo making his first appearance up here. I see Chase Man and Bobby is back up here. He's now going to go up to the top, though. Melly's going to arc it down to the bottom, making a pass 3 wide here. You want, if you're Butler, you want these battles. You can hold the lead. He's just holding the lead very well. I mean, how easy it is to hold the lead when they're battling behind you. He's loving this right now. I love this camera shot. You can see Doug maybe trying to creep up on Butler in the second spot. You can see Melly sending it 3 wide into the corner. Here we go, back to the 3 wide. If you're the 18 and the 2, knowing that that might have been the last caution of the race, you do not want to set yourself up in this position because you may not be able to get back up here in time. So you want to find your way down to the bottom quick so you did not end up losing too much track position. That could have easily have been the final caution of the race if these guys can calm down. So, if you're a forklift operator in Raven, want to find your way down to the bottom. While these guys who are on the bottom right now, you want to stay on the bottom because you could get a good finish. Doug looking down at the bottom, 3 wide for 4th. That's going to slow these guys down. You notice on the top 3, able to maintain a little bit more. Butler on the top side holds the lead. That car is fast. That car is fast today. He can hold the lead while running the middle lane or the top lane. Butler is fast, and now the 99 is going to pounce for second. That is Chasey Man down to the bottom. Who's going to be able to stop that 4 car today? Has the 29 fastest lap, but again, when you're leading so much in the race, you're not in the draft, but he has a fast car. He could just hold the lead so well. I feel he's led about half this race. Butler with a career day after a decent finish as well at Daytona. Trying to set himself up well. A lot of guys still stuck up top. And the 12 of Matt continues to struggle. And Dallas the Irishman has kind of faltered to the back after a top 10 starting spot. And a lot of these guys are just fighting for whatever spot they can get. I'm noticing a lot of these guys. AC, Grayson, Beck, they've been stuck back here all race. They're just trying to find some spots. And maybe, if you can hold the inside, can make a run to the front. We've seen this out of some of these guys. Like, I mean, Chasey Man's up here. Malone is up here. Dan is up here. Some new faces. So, you can get to the front. Forklift operator. He's back on the bottom. Making some moves. Trying to set himself in a good spot for the end of this race. And Butler, he's out front while Doug and Chasey Man continue to struggle. Falling back on that top side. Montana looking for second. Can Butler hold this lead? And it's a pretty commanding lead too. I mean, each lap, it doesn't have to be a massive gap. Just being able to hold the lead is good enough. He's going to be debuting a custom scheme that was made by a fellow driver later in the season. He may win before we even get there. Guys are going at pretty high speeds here. You can see the 3 wide continue to happen here. Chasey Man up the track. No one to his inside though, so nothing really happens. 3 by 3. We haven't seen this much today, not because of the crashes, just because guys haven't really been thinking about it. We have a pass for the lead though. Down to the bottom, Montana grabs the top spot away from Butler. He's been one of those guys that I have noticed has been able to stay up here and in the top 10 for a lot of this race. Lone, can he get down to the bottom? No. Butler's going to find a spot back in line, I think. Lone's going to, no, he's going to get there, I think. He does, in fact, get there. Butler is going to, oh, he didn't block. I thought he was going to put a block there. Thought he was going to want to hold that spot. Butler knows he has one of the fastest cars out here. If I'm the 4 of Butler, I want to hold that bottom lane, because when you drift back on the top, doesn't matter how fast of a car you have, there is no grip up there. You're not going to stay up here very well. And look at the mess. You start to see Grayson, AC, Mac, guys that were having trouble most of the race. They're now making late charges up here. And just like that, we were on 4 laps to go in a pretty fast-pacing race. Does anyone have anything for the 21 car? I know the 4 does a Butler, but he has to find a way back to the bottom. Is he able to do that with limited laps remaining? And can forklift operator give himself a good opportunity down to the bottom on Lone? Lone's going to get a better entry, though. He's in that middle lane. He's going to clear, get back down to the bottom, and Butler's holding the top side. He's going to wash up a little in the corner. He's going to lose that 3rd spot, and it looks like the 4th spot as well to the 07 of NASCAR Fan 3, who's had his moments today. And Raven and Burn It Down, top 10 for most of the race. They're falling back. Fanatic just put AC and back into the wall. Fanatic had an unbelievably awful corner. He just got so loose entering the corner and screwed over 2 Hendrick cars. Unbelievable. We're going to have to take a look at that after this race, because there is 2 laps to go. Don't believe the caution came out. No, they're still gaining speed. 2 laps to go. This race is on. Not for Butler, though. He's stuck up top. He may not even get a top 10 after a dominating performance. While Montana, he's dominated the ability to stay in the top 10, I will say that. Looking to get a good result here. You can see Butler washing up the track. The 9 of Melly nearly making contact with him. White flag, and they're side by side for the lead. Can Montana hang on? Fair. I feel so bad for AC and Mac. They were starting to make moves up there. Now they're not. NASCAR Fan 3 is going to clear forklift operator. Oh, he had such a better corner. He had such a better corner than the 21. He's going to go down to the bottom. Montana's going to hold surge. Montana in the 21 car will come off of turn 4. And Montana's going to win the second race of the season. He wins at Vegas. Butler will hang on for a top 10, finishing 9th. After a dominating performance, he deserves it. Here's where everyone else finished. Raven fell back massively at the end. He was one of those guys that I was saying, you have to stay in the top 10, or you have to stay in that top 10, you have to get back on that bottom. Forklift operator finished 4th. He was able to stay down there, but Raven, he ended up falling back. Real quick, before we get to post-race, I want to take a look at what happened to the 55. He had a massive moment. That was Fanatic. See what happened to him. For anyone that watched Pocono today, when I'm recording this, Pocono race finished not long ago. Does this remind you of anything? Fanatic just crowds the 24 and the 5 up into the wall. And AC was having to fight that car. He wanted to spin out, but don't think that would have benefited anyone. In the 55 of Fanatic, he was able to hold his own, stay in the pack, while Mac and AC, they finished 32nd and 33rd. Just not beneficial. They were making moves too. Fanatic was on the bottom. He just washed up the track. Lot of emotions if you're the 5 car of AC. Struggled all race long. And the one time you had a fighting chance to maybe come home with the top 15, you end up getting involved in a late race contact. But Montana, who proved to be one of the fastest cars all race long, started in the top 10 and was able to maintain a top 10 position for most of the race. He comes home with the win at Vegas in the second race. He also finished top 10 at Daytona, if I remembered correctly. So he is currently on a roll right now, looking good as the season moves on again. Just like I said at Daytona, you have to actually have consistency. It's not a win in your own system. You have to stay consistent when the chase begins. You have to be in a decent spot to make the chase. And then here's some other finishers. You can see NASCAR Fan 3, Forklift Operator, and Bobby C3 finishes 6th. Also another driver with 2 top 10s to start off the season. There's Butler coming home 9th. There's Dakota's custom car and everybody else. That was a pretty good race today. Congratulations to Montana. Let's go over the finishing results. Montana, of course, comes home with the victory. NASCAR Fan 3, after kind of screwing over the 24 car earlier in the race, he rebounds the second, even if he had a little bit of damage. High Noob finishes 3rd. Great redemption after crashing out at Daytona. Same as the 18 of Forklift Operator. He comes home 4th. Lone in 5th. Bobby C3 in 6th. Out of nowhere, Timmy just kind of finishes 7th. Devil Kitty qualified in last place. She comes home with an 8th place. Imagine if she would have started up front. Maybe it could have been a different story. Butler definitely commanded most of the race. Gets a really good top 10. And Javier, kind of a really quiet first 2 races. He comes home 10th. A very respectable finish. And everybody else, you can see Burn It Down fell back to 24th. And Raven, he fell back to 29th. And I finished 30th. Mid. That's what I am. So yeah, that is where everyone came home today. After a great race in Vegas, I hope you guys all enjoyed race 3. We are continuing on the West Coast. We are heading to Phoenix for the 3rd race of the season. Very intense race with a few accidents and maybe a little bit of controversy between that Fanatic situation. We'll see what happens there. Thank you guys all for watching. Dylan Does Stuff, out.